welcome to Love Language with Anne-Marie. And how are you doing today, Miss?
I'm doing all right today. I'm feeling a bit feisty, like I said. I think we've got another full moon coming up.
Ooh,
So
you're
I'm
a bit
feeling really like feisty. I don't like it, but it'll pass.
Okay. All right, so you'll pass. Well, first of all, I'm Chase, as we all know, and we're joined once again by Addae G. We love having Addae G in the studio with us, don't we?
Good scene here. 2 mics tonight.
Yeah.
2 mics.
Yeah. 2 mics like 2 breasts. But that's all good. You know, it's everything. But what we decided to talk about this week, Anne-Marie, was long-distance relationships.
Yeah.
And everything. And then we had a really interesting conversation as we talked about the show notes today and everything. Of course, Addae actually thought I meant long-term relationships. And I said, no, because there's no such thing as a long-term relationship. There's only relationships. It's not prison, right? So long-distance relationships is different because...
Oh, come on. There are a lot of people who want short-term relationships. There are people who want short-term relationships.
For a lot of people.
I think there's just as much merit because some people don't want a long-term relationship.
Okay, so explain yourself, please.
Some people don't want a long-term relationship. Some people just want to go and have fun for a while and then be done with it.
It sounds like you were in this whole modern generation.
No, come on. I've experienced that enough years back, right?
Do you think people are honest about that?
No.
Well, I know I was honest to me about it. Because I knew that here's what I would only date people who went to the university because they were in the country for a short period of time. They graduate in 6 months and then it's over. You know? So yeah, no love lost, no anger, but I just didn't want this thing to drag on and on and on.
Well, I mean, I think any relationship is great to have. I mean, I don't like to put a clock on it. I don't like to end it. I don't like to walk into that relationship with a hatchet ready to cut it off. But whatever happens, happens.
No, but if you're dating, I'm sure there are a lot of tabs where it says seeking a long-term relationship, seeking marriage, seeking children, seeking a short-term relationship, seeking dates. I think it's all kind of relevant.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Addae. What do you think, Anne-Marie? I know you have an opinion on this before I state mine.
I don't know. I mean, if people are honest about it, then that's absolutely fine, isn't it? There's probably nothing worse than getting into a relationship with someone who actually only wants the short term, the other person wants long term, but there was no transparency at the beginning.
Exactly.
That would be a pain.
So, I mean, but the thing about it is, I think what I was trying to say about long distance relationships is that sometimes, we always, I've been on that whole playing fish thing. Sometimes we always are looking for somebody in our neighborhood, that is convenient, that is close by. Right, so we start there in our search, but then that person that may be right for us or me, you, was a little bit further afield, but that causes people problems or anxiety. Oh, you're too far. I've heard this, response before. Oh, you're too far and all that other kind of stuff. It's like, too far. I mean, it's like a train ride or a taxi or a car or something like that. So, I mean, already that seems to be a problem with people. What do you think about that? Have you heard that?
Yeah, I definitely heard that.
What's up?
What's up, man? What are you dapping? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What was the question?
Is when people try to control their relationship by their environment, how close the person is. That always seems to be when you do an online dating. That always seems to be the first step. Is it that how close are you? How far away?
Yeah, it depends how far. If it was the other end of the country and you can't get to it, London, it's fine. But if it's
London's fine.
Yeah, you can jump a train there. That's fine, isn't it?
That's a pretty expensive train and a long
Scotland
ride.
or somewhere like that. Then I would hesitate. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, let's have a date. It's a bit inconvenient, isn't it?
Well, not if you could stay over.
I want to tell this story and I wanted to be true to the person who it is.
True to the
I have a
person.
friend and he was dating this guy and he lived London, the other person lived outside well outside of London. I used to date every now and again, a great relationship. And the second that he moved to London to be closer, within a month, it broke up.
So they needed the heat of the distance.
I guess so. But when I mean broke up, I mean like, how do I say it? Like,
had problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, they started. Yeah.
You mean when they got closer, they had problems?
Yes. Yeah.
And everything. That's why they broke them and stuff like that. Because, sometimes it might seem a bit more exciting that I have to get ready. I have to travel.
Yeah.
And I got the heat of that travel.
It is quite nice and exciting.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But you also feel honored, though, don't you? That, like, oh, he's traveling so far just for me.
When I was younger and I was seeing this guy, I used to have to get the train and stuff. I was so excited, like couldn't take the grin off my face. Like I felt embarrassed for myself. It was so but yeah, it was so exciting, like to do that and to go that distance and think,
You
so
felt
for
special.
me,
You felt more special.
I was excited. I was looking forward to seeing the guy, so I could, I could do it. If it's the right guy, you're gonna do it, aren't you?
Yeah, but
it's the
how?
right girl, it's
Exactly. Once it's the right person, you're definitely gonna do it.
Well, no. I totally agree. And I mean, in that aspect, then it's like, let's say there are a lot of people out there who are single who want to be couples, right? Mm-hmm. And then you get that opportunity. So now this person's in my space, the space that I had to myself for the longest time, maybe too long or too short, whatever. Mm-hmm. Then now it's like your mate, who's like it got a problem. Someone they got closer, I mean, where is that coming from? I mean, like I want the relationship so bad.
It's an invasion of space, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I mean, the space invaders. I mean, how do we stop ourselves, Anne-Marie, in that? I mean,
do you not get to a certain point in your life where you think, "Fuck that! I'm too old to be messing around now. I've just got to be a bit more flexible."
Well, look, even Royce shakes his head at that.
No, but why bother? Why bother bring somebody into your space if you know you like your own space?
Well, because I want somebody in my space.
Exactly, that's what you want. So therefore, you want that invasion of space.
So,
but your man,
on your terms only type of thing.
Yeah, but you have to make some sort of
compromise.
Compromise
I think
for
it is
of course.
flexibility and compromise.
But that's why I said when is too much space or too little space. So when is it too much or too little is what I was saying before. What I mean?
I like it. I like it if somebody can feel at home in my home and have that homely feeling together and cook and things like that. I think there's nothing nicer. I suppose if you're irritated by the person or something's not quite right, those little flaws are going to show up if you're in the space together.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm smiling because a friend of mine, Elaine, is on here and she lives in Scotland.
Sorry.
You just said, I would want to go to Scotland.
It's a hell of a treat.
I've been to Scotland and
it's
great. What?
It's hell of a ride for a kiss on the cheek, yeah?
Ooh, yeah, I know, right? I need more than a kiss on the cheek when I'm going far.
No, but I did. How far is far? Because
that's what I want to know. How far is far? Because that's what they complained about when you're on those dating sites. Like, you're too far. How far is far? You tell me.
I was dating a girl for about a year. And she lived in Manchester.
You used to live in Manchester?
And she lived in Manchester.
Oh, she lived in Manchester, yeah.
And technically, that's a long distance, relationship. Because I still had to take a train, an hour train to get there. But there was that anticipation to get there.
New York or...
You wanted to be New York. That's what you wanted to be.
No, but on the flip side, there are a lot of couples that have these long distance relationships.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's only once you have some sort of understanding, this is the time you plan to stay apart, or this is the time you can deal with together.
All right, so let's go a bit deeper then. So what ingredients keeps the relationships alive if it's long distance and you guys are only getting to see each other, I don't know, maybe not even once a week? Like, what keeps the relationship alive?
That's what I think that's the answer that I'm looking for, because, it's like once a week sounds harsh. You know what I mean? I mean, when it's 2 or 3 days, it sounds bad. So, Annie, what keeps it alive?
Have you had a long
It
distance relationship?
seems so sad to just use the word communication, but sometimes that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because, again, I can only speak for the ones that I've been in. It's not been necessarily about the physical contact all the time. It's been about more than that. You know, so if it's a relationship where you rely on more than that, than the conversations and things like that, the physical needing person to be there. Because sometimes, for me, I can be and they're on the phone. And I'm just going about my day and they're on the phone and I'm speaking, I can just ask a question and that kind of thing could just be enough for you.
Well, no, because I mean, like, you have video chat now. So we're in the world of the Jetsons
Half of the
now.
times I'm on the phone, I don't want to see who I'm talking to. Like, I just want the voice.
I don't want to see you because you walk around the house naked, so.
It's my house.
My house.
With the Dettol on the rubber
hell?
gloves.
Yeah.
And the toothbrush. Getting in those crevices.
Don't bring up his personal stuff. Addie and his marigolds.
You know, it just happens that when your face is burning, I say, "Oh shoot, yes, I sprayed bleach the other day, so that's why."
Is that why you guys did? Oh yeah, okay. So, but well, when you said what keeps us alive, I think it's the right kind of connection and conversation because I was saying is like in this thing, relationship now, I'm finding myself laughing and it makes me like say to myself, damn, when did I laugh before? Do you know what I mean? Cause you can have friends, you can have conversations and all that other kind of stuff, but when do I like have that belly laughing kind of laugh? And it's like when you can talk to somebody like that, I don't mind the distance because I know that I'm closing it through mental communication. That way. It's like I said that a lot, so and then me and you were like talking head to head, and that's really rare. You know what I mean? So if you could get that,
I like that laughing thing. You said, when last have you been tickled? No, it sounds stupid. But but it sounds wrong and it sounds stupid, right? But here's what.
You got a tickle.
When last have you been tickled by someone who's as strong as you, so you can't just push them away?
That's horrible.
No, and you just laugh and you just let go to laugh and enjoy it. That's such an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, you would know it more technically than I. The endorphins of laughter is like it resonates through your whole body. Do you know what I mean? And but I understand what you're saying about the tickling, but I think that when you could do that just to connection of the conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes like we could say like don't even know what was said, but it's just that I'm laughing, you're laughing, and I'm laughing, and it's just uncontrollable. That's fantastic laughter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what you really want. And some people could be in relationship for years and they not having that laughter because they're just sitting there invisible with that miserable face, looking into their phones.
I think it's a relaxing. I think you need to be. I think once you're comfortable with the person, you can shed a whole bunch of layers.
Yeah.
And you tell because you can tell if you're growing or not because the person you're comfortable with now, when you do a whole bunch of stupid things with, you might not have done with other people before.
And why is it difficult though? I mean, I'm not even British, but they call it that British reticence. I mean, why is it difficult to let yourself go with people?
I think it's vulnerability, isn't it?
But why though? Why? I mean, what's causing you to lock? Not you. I mean, what's causing people to lock down?
I think it's it's true, and I think we talked about it a couple of weeks ago about showing the real person who's showing up at the date. Is it the real person or is it the persona? And I think a lot of it comes down to trust, vulnerability, insecurity. Like if I'm myself, my geeky, stupid self, like what opinion are they going to form about me?
Yeah.
That might turn them off me, type of thing. So I think we kind of hold back a little bit.
Yeah. I've had a new strategy in recent, and my strategy has been be crazy in the first 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Be absolutely ridiculous.
You know what? I totally agree.
Go beyond how ridiculous you are. And see how far it goes. Then scale back. Because you need to know how.
then scale back. Where did that person
Yeah.
go? You know, no, I totally agree because it's kind of like, you know, I profess to be a self-professed geek, and you know, like when I'm saying, why do you keep calling yourself a geek? I say because I am. Right, and I don't want there to be any illusions about that. But also too, it's like because we have different shows here on Condo Online. So we have a show with these young girls, Sophie and Megan, called The Midnight Hour, and now Megan's just totally gorgeous, beautiful girl. She knows that, right? But she is a self-professed geek, right? And so when she does the show, she's talking about how like, you know, awkward she is and how she likes guys who make her laugh, and but you know, you would look at her. And it'd be like, no, can't even touch her, you know what I mean? But it's just like what you just said about vulnerability is that she just lets herself go, and like she doesn't, you know, I mean, she has the ability not to care because guys are still going to be interested in her. Yeah. But that's who she is, and like people have to be that air. It's kind of like what I said about the scrub down last time. It's like it has to be like I just want to be me, and I mean, I'm glad that I'm talking to somebody that likes me for who I am. And so I'm just saying anything and randomly and doing anything
it's
like that.
Because I am kind of two different people. Like, you know, probably what people see or perceive of me is something that I am, but I'm also there's another part of me as well, like a deeper part of me that you wouldn't get to see possibly straight away. Because that's
is that just the roles? My nature. Is that the roles that we all play? I think that we the mask that we have to be.
I think it's just my nature. People might see me as confident, strong, or whatever, and I am that. Yeah. But I'm also deep, introverted. You know, like to have deep things. You know, and I can just talk about weird, you know, random stuff like space, and probably people do know that about me now.
Don't go,
you know. But you wouldn't necessarily think I was that way if you were to kind of, you know, take me out for lunch. That would not be the type of conversation that we would have. It would come later.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm hiding. It's just that some parts of you take time to be shown. It's not like you're hiding it, it's just maybe the right environment.
Yeah, but as a woman though, do you think that like men are not giving you the chance to be that side of you? Because kind of like what I was saying about this Megan girl, where it's like, God, when she talks about it, you know, she's this ultra geek, but I can assume and realize that if a guy's asking around her with her, you know, she's either given that opportunity or not. Mainly, you're my eye candy or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And you know what I mean? And you're what? You're wacky? So do you get the opportunity to show this other side?
Oh, I haven't had a date for it.
All right, let's not go there. I mean, do people in general?
What?
Oh, God.
As a writer, when you're writing
as a writer,
characters.
Go ahead, Addae, save us.
You know who your true character is with how they react when they're backed into a corner. Right? And that's really who your true self with. When you act out of, regardless of the fear of something that might happen to you. You know, and you have to get to that point in a relationship. And it's better for everybody if you get to that point sooner than later.
But you can't know that about someone.
No.
And that takes time because you know, we can be all things. We can be a killer. We can be a saint. You know, we've got all these archetypes inside us, and it is situations and circumstances that bring out different parts of
can't you push someone to do that? I pushed my girlfriend to be crazy. Like I pushed, and she's literally saying that. Yeah, so I'm sure you can push somebody by you breaking down your own walls.
I would love to see your girlfriend crazy. I can't believe that.
Trust me.
Okay, you don't have to go there.
Oh my God.
You don't have to go there.
The things that happen in
Addae says don't go there.
You will not
respect your woman.
Anyway, so all I'm saying is that once you can show that I don't care, this is who I am, and if you like it, good. If you don't like it, let's talk about it. You know, and once you get to that point, I think everything should be all right.
Yeah, so it's about acceptance, isn't it? Being accepted by the other person.
Yeah, because again, it's both of your choice, and let's assume, hop back to the long-term thing. Let's assume that you all want to end into a marriage. As far as I'm concerned, marriage is a contract. And if you have been hiding away this part of you all this time and it comes out after the marriage, you've literally broken that contract.
Right.
You understand?
See, this is the thing, isn't it? It's like what's circumstantial and what's secretive and hidden. Because somebody, like human behaviour, right, will come out in ways that individual might not recognise of themselves. They might say, I don't even recognise myself.
Exactly. And I argue that could be your true self. That's who you really are. You might not have known it, but that's who you really are when your back is against the wall, where you're at some extreme circumstance. You know?
Yeah, but then how much do we really know of ourselves unless we're faced with these circumstances?
Oh, then that means you have to also be in a relationship where that true stuff comes out as well. I mean, you know, like, for example, you know, not to put, like, man, like, Roy's on the spot, but then, like, you know, when he was saying, you know, like, having a partner that's, like, a ride or die for you, you know, it's that thing of, like, being able to have someone who will be there as the true marriage vows are, better or worse, you know? And I think a lot of people don't even pay attention to those vows.
I think...
Do you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, what I mean is the worst part, right? Everybody wants the better. You know what I mean? Everybody wants all the good stuff.
Yeah.
But a true partner or a true relationship is when they're there in the bad stuff. You know what I mean?
As you talk about vows, interesting enough, because, again, as a writer, what I get to do is write people's wedding vows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get to do that. Right? So, what happens at
even the best man speech and all that?
For a fee.
Okay, whatever. Right. No plugging, buddy. Shameless.
Yes.
Anyway, move on.
Check me on.
Stop yourself.
Yeah. But yeah, a lot of times you have these feelings inside or whatever. I just lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
That was my fault?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, bro.
Let's move on then.
A bit controversial then. Okay, so what happens if you're married and you break one of the like major vows?
What are the major vows?
Is that person's true self, or is it circumstantial, situational, fucking lost themselves in the moment? What? You know, what do you condemn? You condemn that person.
You talking about like having an affair or something?
Yeah. Do you condemn that person or?
I don't even know how to start that because I have two.
We both moved to the side.
So I'm contradicting myself, but I am so.
It's like we're mirroring each other here. You want help? You think about it.
I don't know how to say it because it'll get me in so much trouble if I say this and people will watch us after. But the fact is, I don't think as a species.
You're supposed to say with one person.
You are supposed to be monogamous. I don't think it's, but at the same time I understand that if you choose to be with this person and these are their rules, this is your choice and you have to follow these rules.
No,
if you break it, then there's something else. You understand?
Yeah.
I choose to be with going and her idea is that we are together, no one else, that's my choice. If I choose to do something else, my choice is not to be with and be with somebody else who accepts that.
It's funny, isn't it? Because it comes down to the differences between men and women, and the emotional differences between
women
men.
Cheat.
What?
Women cheat.
Well, women do cheat, but like men. What do they say about men? Need sex before they make that emotional connection, deep emotional connection with the woman. Women need the deep emotional connection before they can let themselves go and be, you know, free sexually in a relationship. So that's where the men and female body work differently, and the mentality of what cheating might look or feel like to the different sex.
Exactly.
It's not going to be true for everybody, but
it would definitely be different. I remember I lived with this girl back home, and what happened is that we lived there for 5 years, and great relationship, maybe one of my best. But what also happened is that she was super faithful to me. She worked as a hairdresser, and she would come home and go on the phone with the same people she's in the shop with. And I'm like, you know, I felt like I was being cheated on because of that.
Because she wouldn't share
the
her
long
day with
hours
you.
Plus all of this. I would have preferred I walk in and see a man there that I could deal with that. because I couldn't deal with having snips of the person who I'm with.
Wow.
I would have felt so much better.
Oh,
That
you
is
felt not
so
seen.
powerful what you just said.
Yeah.
Because I think that happens so much, like, you know, like in relationship, because we treat our work lives different than our personal lives.
Yeah.
And like sometimes people stay at work later, you know, they come home,
Sometimes,
and then your
yeah.
partner will say, how was your day? Oh, it was all right.
Yeah, you can be your better self in the work environment
Yeah.
because there's boundaries, rules.
But no, but what he's saying is that so she would come home from that,
Yeah,
and then
not
still
Like, you know,
continue
I would
this
assume
kind of like long. Man, that is so powerful though.
A salon is not a place you just go. It's like a community in a sense.
Yeah,
You know? So I can
totally
understand still wanting
Yeah.
to be there. So you're home and watching TV and texting the same people you were just with.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
but then it's like, what about me? What time are you giving me and everything? Like
Exactly. Plus, on top of that, the social events would be with these same people, a party or whatever.
That? Do you
I
go
would
to those?
want to
Did you go to those events?
I would want to go on a girls' night out. And it's girls' night out every, I don't know.
No, I totally get you, bro.
You would. You
I would,
so
yeah, I
would.
would, yeah.
It's alright. I will allow anybody to have whatever nights out they want because I want to have my balance.
What did you do? Or what do you think a person should do if you didn't do what you should have done?
Okay, so all I did was just, I think I just...
You sulked it, yeah.
Huh?
You sulked.
No, I just made the time that we spent together a lot more important. It didn't mean that I changed, because I still felt that way. I made it known all the time.
Oh, okay.
But I realized that that's part of who they are, you know, and I had to deal with that.
It's like I recognise that in myself really
Yeah.
because work's like so important, and I bet you do as well because of like what you're trying to build and how work can come into your home life.
Who are you looking
But
at?
couldn't he have? Well, my thing is, why didn't you just actually go into the shop?
I did, yeah. I went every now and again.
Well, yeah, but that's the recommendation is to enter or step into her world so that way you would have more of an understanding. So she's coming in and she's talking about, yeah, Lucretia and that man, they
See,
are
that's too much.
and then you go, oh, don't tell me Lucretia and that guy all messed up on that. You know what? That's what I would do. Don't tell me about it. Oh man. And then you become a part of her world.
That is one way.
Here's what. This is what happens, right? I can only
That's
steal. I'm not saying it for
Working
you because you are self-professed nerd also. But like for my girlfriend, she doesn't really know all the characters to Marvel. So
Man, that's
I don't have the mental space to keep
explain
up
it
with
to her.
everybody's names.
Please tell me she doesn't keep asking you.
What?
Don't tell me she keeps asking you about those characters or those things.
Well, I think she did. Even my
yeah.
girlfriend now, she's like, this, like, as far as I'm concerned, all of her friends have one name. And I'm like, whatever
That's
that
so
name
bad.
is. And yeah, you know which one. I went as
Robbie!
I did, yeah.
No,
So she
see, I
often,
like the man to be slightly female in the way that he kind of gets a little bit involved. And like I could take him out with all my girlfriends.
Yeah, man. And
trust me, you could take me out, but at the same time, if every 2 weeks you have another friend coming and spend a weekend, I'm like, sometimes you just can't keep up.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think you have to be a part of each other's world. I think for me, the problem was like in previous relationships that I had, where like the girl, would enter my world and won't leave, and she'd be like the thing that wouldn't leave, and then I'd be like, yeah, don't you have friends? I thought when we met, you know what I mean? Because it's a little bit evasive, beater, but like, that's a bit much. But I'd rather her have her world, and I want to be interested in her world. You could be interested in my world, and that's how we go back and forth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't want you to like be absorbed into my world and everything, and then I'm like, where's the world that you had?
You actually
Maybe I
say
should have
that.
said that. I don't mean that now. I was talking about it.
Someone asked Oprah how she's in this relationship with Stedman for so
I
much years.
I don't think that's real, but go ahead. Go on.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Oprah Winfrey.
Oprah Winfrey and Stedman.
Who's Stedman?
real or not,
He's her
long term.
her beard.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, okay. What's wrong with that?
So sad. What
Yeah.
she said is that the relationship works because they both do their own thing.
Yeah.
That's what she said. You know,
she's a billionaire and he's there's some guy.
Don't hate on the man. Don't hate on him.
Come on, man.
It's not her fault she's a billionaire. You can't like punish her for it. If she likes someone, she likes someone.
Let's give the little guy hope.
The little guy.
You know.
Okay. So anyway, I mean, let's encapsulate all of this that we're talking about, right? So I mean, long distance relationships. I mean, it is a. I don't think it's like a wide subject, but I think it's an interesting one. Where it's because the main goal I was looking at was when there's too much, and too little. You know, in that long distance, like the idea is that if we close ourselves off to I need just this to happen in this place, and then I'm never gonna find something out there, you know. And what I'm trying to say is dipping my toe out there, you know, into a long distance thing. I'm finding it more curious as opposed to more derisive. You know what I mean? Because the person that you're looking for just might not be coming knocking on your door, Emery. You know what I mean? They might not be knocking on your door. You might have to actually step outside into the garden. You know, walk into the street. You know.
I think we failed to talk about how we start discussing long distance relationships, because there are people in relationships with people over the internet. And have never met and may never meet. And I remember I tried to find out the couple it was, like a historic couple who were so much in love, but they only passed letters to each other.
Oh yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
And who's to say that that's not a successful?
No, that is because it's the mental. They got the mental.
But if it's successful for them, it's successful for them, isn't it? But it's what are they actually in love with if you're not in fit?
Well, they're in love with each other's spirits and everything, because that is pure love. But they do. I mean, one would think they need a physical interaction.
I don't mean like physical as in, you know, intimate. I get like couples might not ever be intimate. I get that. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just being in the energy of someone else, because like we were saying about the habits and how it can be a space invading. If you've not experienced that and had to be flexible or compromising in that way, where you have to totally accept somebody, their flaws and all, and maybe see yourself, you know, reflected in that in some way, and it's only kind of long distance, then I'm not sure you're getting all of the person. I can see how the notion and the contact, I mean, you could have
the romantic
a long distance
side
family
of it.
member who you love dearly, a friend who you love dearly. But is that what it is, or is it something more? I don't know. Like then it's saying what you determine as a real kind of relationship.
It's kind of like an excuse, like in that old Charlie Brown joke, like I have a girlfriend, but she's in Canada. I don't know if it's Charlie Brown, but yeah, you know what I mean. You like a person likes. A person likes to know that someone cares for them, and they will accept in whatever form, even in that ghostly form, like this letters. At least I know I have someone who cares for me and I care for. Yeah. But I do believe you do need the actual touch. You do need the tactileness.
Because it's giving that person meaning and purpose in their life.
Yeah.
But then again, we all have different needs, and some of us don't feel they need that touch.
I mean, if you think of people in death row, you know, they're probably having that type of relationship with someone.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
And it does give somebody a sense of purpose and meaning. Otherwise, that person's going to wither and die.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we all need some kind of soul connection.
Yeah, we do. Whatever.
I want to throw this out for maybe the next show, is if we talk about if we have that touch and not the connection, because we are in the advent of, we spoke earlier about artificial intelligence and stuff like that. What about these dolls and these AI things which can maybe pass off as a partner? And it's very popular in Asia. You know?
Oh, you're talking about the whole Siri thing?
Yes,
yeah, because Anne-Marie said that she thinks in 10 years, like, the Sims will have their own...
True.
No, but in Japan, there are these dolls which come home and they talk to you.
Billy Carson.
Yeah.
Billy Carson.
Well, you talking about those stuff.
I know what you're talking about.
I'm not talking about sex dolls. I'm talking about people who come and dolls have a conversation with them, and they
do have a conversation with them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think for example, I can write an email to you, Chase, and barely have to type 5 words. I can start the sentence, and right now on Google, it finishes my sentence for me. Imagine if you come home and you are spoken to the exact way you want to be spoken to by this entity that has learned how you talk and what you like and what you search and what. And imagine you come home from watching the new X-Men and they
want to share.
How was the show? And they say da da da, and they'll ask, so did you like this fight? What do you think about this? And then somehow it pulls all this information from the internet of all the people who reviewed the show and have a conversation with you, an in-depth conversation about what do you think about this fight?
Well,
you know this actor? You know who directed
that's
it?
A complete
You know which
mind,
and that will just be because imagine
you would fall in love with that.
Exactly.
Thing.
Whatever AI you have can plug into the internet and have all that information and be able to have a conversation.
Could you massage me in my chair?
Could
you massage me in my chair?
I'm definitely sure.
God, it's perfect.
I'm definitely sure it could.
Send me the link.
I'm definitely sure it could. Because
but it's invoking the emotions in the human. Not in the AI, but the AI is invoking the human. And your brain doesn't, like we were saying about the going into the different realities in the games, your brain doesn't know the difference between real or fake. We don't know what reality we're in and where we go when we're asleep. When we're asleep and we're dreaming, we think we're in a different reality. Our body is responding to the emotion
I can talk about
it's producing.
Like, where politics, they like last year, around the time of the elections, they got a sample of Donald Trump's voice, of Barack Obama's voice, and Hillary Clinton's voice, and just plugged it into a computer, and was able to make that voice sound like it's saying anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They could do that the same way. Well, Clinton sounds like a robot anyway, right? But the same tone and same pace and how they talk, they can do that. I believe in 10 years, you wouldn't be able to believe what you see or hear on television anymore. You will not know what the truth is.
5. I give you 5.
You give 5.
Yeah.
I would say 5 because there's an uncomfortableness you see. Because
so where's that going to go then? They're going to wipe out the human race or what? Like, what's the purpose of AI? Perfect.
Here's what the purpose is: to guess when you're hungry and order you a pizza before you even think, oh, I should order a pizza.
And Deliveroo comes and
deliver it for you. No, the drone is going to fly and drop it down on you. That's like the goal, to know it, to know what you want.
How did we get here?
Just before you know it and have it there for you.
Emery ended. How did we get here? You post-apocalyptic you. All right.
I love learning about AI. I know we're fucked. Like, I live with the expectation that this world is going to go to shit, and I'm just happy.
I like that conversation about AI.
We should have an AI show.
We definitely should.
So we're at the end of this show and everything, but we want to thank Addae for coming in because he's always got something very cool to say and everything. Really love your addition to the conversation, and I want to thank Anne-Marie, who's not feeling too well, but as always, her precious self and everything. Thank you very much for joining us here today because, I love you.
I love you too.
And see, you didn't say it to me at the beginning, though. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
So, this has been Love Language, and thank you guys, and we are out.
We're out.
Big kisses.